Yeah, I remember going to surf shops when I was little and looking at, looking at the surfboards there. And man, like, holy crap, they were expensive. Like, way more expensive than, the Walmart skateboard that I couldn't do any tricks on. I mean, I sucked at skating. Why would I ask my family to waste so much money on something that I could be even worse at? So I never tried surfing. But now, fast forward 20 years, I've got this incredible life with this incredible career that affords me the opportunities to do things that I've always wanted to do. And, oh, hey, I'm a member of this club where we focus on like learning things that we've always wanted or needed to learn. It's pretty sweet to have a support system like that. It's something that I'm super grateful for. So, today, while it might not be pretty, we're going to go learn how to surf. All right, so listen, we decided that we're going on a little adventure in the morning. We never get to see each other. It's been a couple years now? Oh my gosh, it's been over 3 years.
I was gonna say at least 2.
Yeah. Because your son is about to turn 3, right?
That is right. So yeah,
it's been over 3 years.
3, yeah.
So, we grew up together. I've been very fortunate to have this guy as a friend for literally pretty much my entire life, but haven't really had a whole lot of time to see any friends here recently. And just full disclosure, that is kind of what happens in life in general as you get older, but especially when you drive to obtain goals, which is what we hope you do here. Obviously that's what we're doing. It doesn't happen quite like it used to, and that's just something that you have to learn to like work with. So that's what we're doing, right? And what we are doing is it's about learning things here, right? So it's a book club, but more importantly, it's about learning things that we want to learn or things that will benefit us. And this one is one that I've wanted to learn for most of my life. Growing up on the coast, it's been it wasn't that big when I was a kid, right? Like I don't remember seeing a lot of people doing this when we were super young, but it definitely grew in popularity around here over the course of our life, right? So what we're doing tomorrow is we're going to go try to learn how to surf. And I don't think either one of us has really invested that much time into, what are the surfing basics.
I haven't even invested in a surfboard.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one because like I've been on the water for a while, and I've collected a few things like some paddle boards, and I've got one for like small people. So what I'm hoping is, considering the shape and considering that it's a relatively small board for a paddle board, at least, that it will work well for us as a second board. So it's going to be super interesting tomorrow. We're definitely not taking out these super Cadillac nice boards or anything. They suck. So I've got a few videos pulled up. I've never watched these videos, to my knowledge at least. Learn how to surf in 10 minutes. That's my kind of instant gratification that you're never going to get, but let's give it a shot. Let's see what we got here.
If we're too far forward, the nose will go in, making us fly over the top. If we're too far back, the nose will sit up like this, and that's not ideal. You're not going to catch waves, and it's just not going to work.
Okay.
So where you want to be is somewhere in between. Now every board is different, and it's hard to have a set rule for this. You're just going to have to jump on the board and practice out in the water to find.
So we're basically going to have to look out for each other on that one.
It's time to get up.
Yeah, I'm going to stop it there. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one because, like, I weighed roughly 250 pounds. And the only surfboard I own, its max capacity is 250 pounds. So I'm probably not going to drink a lot of water tomorrow or have any breakfast.
No, man, you gotta get your protein in.
Yeah,
Just eat.
no, I'm
Yeah,
kidding. It's
I know.
I'm gonna have my protein shake and all that, but
Oh my god.
it could be all for nothing. You know, we could make it all the way out there. What I'm concerned about is I'm taking two boards that are not ideal, but it doesn't matter. We've got to make this happen. This is such a tiny window that we've actually been able to see our planets align, you know, allowing us to see each other. So we've
Yeah,
got to try. All right, let's get back into it.
All we're looking to do for a beginner surfer is to walk out into waist deep water like this. That's as far as we need to go. Now to actually get out there, the easiest thing to do with these longboards is to grab the nose and lift it up. As you can see here, it just makes the waves go straight underneath, easy. So what sort of wave are beginner surfers looking for? Well, this foamy, mushy looking wave is what we want to begin with. The reason for this is because it's the easiest to catch and it's the most forgiving. Once you nail a whitewater takeoff, that's what the foamy stuff's called, is whitewater. Once you've nailed that, well, later on you can progress to catching the actual wave before it's broken and then riding straight down the face. We try and pop up, we're just going to practice actually catching a wave, because this in itself is one of the hardest things to do for beginners. So we're going to do the same sequence, walking out with the nose of the board up, letting the waves crash underneath. Once we're waist deep, we're going to turn the board around with the nose of the board facing the beach. If you're not sure which is the nose and which is the tail,
This sounds
just
way
remember that the
easier
lever
than I
is
thought it
attached
was
to the tail.
going to.
Pretty simple, and the fins are at the tail. Once you're in position and you've seen that whitewater coming, you want to give yourself a bit of room to move. We're looking for maybe 5 meters. We can see that whitewater coming. It's going to give us time to jump onto the board, find our position, and then start paddling. Remember, we're looking for big, long strokes, cupped hands, and kicking our feet.
This is gonna be
to
so
make
much
sure that we get
fun.
as much speed as possible. Now we're not going to stop paddling until the wave's picked us up and is pushing us along. And for this stage, we're just going to belly board in, just to get used to the feeling of what it feels like for a wave to pick you up and push you along. Practice this until you're confident catching waves, and from that point, you can take it to the next level.
I mean, that's basically just body surfing.
Yep.
Which is what I did as
now
a
we're going to
kid.
hit the waves and practice popping up. Just before that, now you're comfortable actually catching waves on your belly. That's a big hurdle that we've now passed.
God, we did that
But
so much
to
as
get
a
used to
kid.
the
Here we
pop-up,
go.
we're going to practice on the sand. Doesn't actually have to be on your board because you can damage it. Just draw the outline of the board. Roughly, you can even trace the board that you're surfing and then use that. Make sure, however, that you put a line down the middle. That'll help you know where exactly your feet need to be. You've caught the wave. You're confident. You can stop paddling. Your hands then go onto the rail of the boards. You lift your chest up. Now by doing that, you create room for your legs to come through. From that point, you're going to bring your front leg forward. That's different depending on whoever you are, if you like to have your left foot forward or your right foot forward. But regardless, the front foot comes up. And then from there, your back leg comes behind it. Now, width-wise, you're looking for them to be roughly shoulder width, but everyone's slightly different. Some are slightly wider, some are slightly narrower. But too narrow and it's silly, too wide and it's silly again. Once your feet are on the board, then you can take your hands off and get low. We're looking for a low sort of crouch position. From there, look and point towards the beach. That's where we're heading. Remember, where you look and where you point with your front arm, that's where you're going to go. Now, where should your feet be on the board? Now, if they're too close to either side of the rail, it'll make the board twist and you're going to fall. So that line down the middle of most boards, which is called a stringer, you can use that as a guide. And you basically want that stringer to run through the middle of your feet. Once you've practiced this on the sand, it's time to go out into the surf and do it for real. And hopefully, that if you follow the steps right, you're going to nail it and you're going to feel the
Those arms out
sensation of
front's gonna
surfing
be
for the
tough.
first time, and it is incredible, and I guarantee that you'll be addicted. Thanks for watching the video today, guys. I hope that this helps you
Hey,
get
thank
out into
you.
the water and
Who
succeed
is
in
that?
learning how you're surfing.
The
We actually offer
Surfer's
some online
Journey.
coaching.
Thank
You
you.
can
I
call us.
was a little more dumb than I am now before watching.
I don't know, dude. I feel pretty comfortable. I mean,
Feeling pretty good about it.
yeah, I have a goal, and it's not to be on a surfboard for a whole second. Yes, yeah, my goal for tomorrow is to go full send. Just get out there and rip a wave. I mean, like, we're gonna do the foam. Well, I'm gonna ride one of those and then instantly ride from the start before the break has happened. all the way in and not fall off, but jump off. That's
won't.
my goal. I'm gonna do it full send.
You won't do it. You won't do it.
What'd I say?
What'd I say? Hey, we gotta
What'd I
be
say?
up in a few hours, my friend. We have got to wake up pretty soon.
Oh.
All right, so that's it, man. Let's get to bed, and I will see you in the morning.
Pow. Explosion.
So we got up at 3:30. Well, no, we got up around 3 to 3:30. I think he was up before I was, and just started loading everything up. Had loaded up the trailer the day before, so he was ready to go there. Just threw everything in the boat and hit the road while I packed up everything on my side of things. So we got to the house and we threw my stuff in the boat and, just ran down to the public launch and put out there and headed down to this remote island. It's, something we're fortunate to have where we live. And we came up on the backside and found a place to, get through the dunes, meaning we didn't walk over the dunes. And, man, it was a really, really cool experience. I think the videos that we watched were critical in even being able to enjoy that time. And, it was challenging, but man, it was rewarding. Like what was your experience out there, man?
The normal things kind of happen on the boat ride, and starting the boat, of course, your telltale, you don't get no water out of your outboard,
That's right.
So fix that, and you don't really know the waters that well, and hit a sandbar, which is like, it happens, you just be thoughtful about what's going on. But then like the really unique thing is, going to an island, a remote island that there's no road access to. And I've never had that experience to where we get there, you walk out on the beach. I think we saw 3 people the entire time. I've never had that experience before. I grew up in saltwater. I never had that experience. But then, yeah, just like getting there, that was something I have never experienced before in my life, and I really wasn't expecting to be excited about it as I was. Yeah, and then just like getting there, and then just being like, yeah, let's get in the water and surf, and there's like no one around that I have to worry about anything. That I loved it. I'm ready to go again.
I can't wait to go again. It was interesting thinking about like, oh, if anything goes wrong, we are in trouble. Because there is no emergency service coming to save you on this remote island.
Yeah, like as a nurse, I'm like, the worst thing that can happen is we got caught in a current and like get swept out.
Which, speaking of currents, like holy crap, man, next time we are going further away from that inlet. Because that was brutal. We were constantly getting pulled into that inlet.
It's just like that. Like that was my main concern. And if something happens like that, they're gonna send a boat. It doesn't matter where you're at. They're gonna send boats and they're gonna send a helicopter. So like we have cell phones.
Yep, that's a good one. Yeah, Yeah, the white foam. Sorry to cut you off there, but I would have went deep. I would have swam all the way out and tried to surf my way in straight out of the gate.
And I would have
never
at the end. Yeah, I tried there at the end. I tried to get in waist deeper water and catch a wave. I'm crazy, so.
Well, I tried it too, and I was gassed.
Yeah.
I swam all the way out one time and sucked trying to get back in, and I just couldn't do it again. It's incredible how good of a workout that is, how enjoyable that is. It could be the dead of summer and you can crush a cardio workout and not even feel it.
So how do you feel? What was probably the most important thing, that getting up like catching the wave, getting up. Because like for me, about how to actually stand up, bringing your feet up under your chest, and then standing up. I don't think I would have made it.
Yeah, that was super useful for sure. I will say, we watched that right before we went, so I didn't have time to start stretching. So if you got a little bit of time before you go, maybe stretch, maybe a little bit.
For me, it was one of those things where you had those simple steps, and that was because, like, I'll be honest, I may have been on the board. I may have been up for like 3 seconds total. When you stand up on that board, time slows. It feels like you're up there for like 30 seconds.
Yep.
But you really don't have time to like kind of think about what you're doing or anything. So like having the process in your head. We never like practiced it out there on the beach, but I felt like it would have made it easier if I did.
Yeah. Didn't have time.
Right. And then the other thing I was running into, too shallow of water. The fins on the board I was using, like once I got up, and I felt like I had my bearings, at this the fins would start running into the sand, so maybe a little bit deeper than what you.
Yeah, well, you were also at a handicap because you had a very long center fin, like way too long for what we were doing. So if I had something to change that out with, I would have. And yeah, sorry. Hey, we got out there, man. We got to stand up on some waves, which is it's such a great feeling. And like what you were just talking about a second ago, you focus on what you're doing, and like, man, you want to talk about a recharge, a mental recharge. Like, it's super important for us to, take time to do something to clear our heads, right? Like, we need to push hard in life. Like we need to be the best, husband or boyfriend or sibling, whoever, in our family lives. We need to push as hard as we can in our careers, because this is, very valuable time that we are, very fortunate to have, and we need to make the most of it. We've got to push in every way we can. But with that said, if you were going to do that, the only way to do that in a healthy manner is to make time for yourself to recharge. And for me, being on the water is like, there's nothing better than that. And if you want to talk about getting great exercise, being on the water, totally clearing your head, like, you might have a lot going on, but I promise you, if you're trying to surf, you're not going to be thinking about it. It's just, I'm hooked, and I'm so excited about it. It's such like a good thing to, add to your life. I appreciate the opportunity to learn that with you, man. That was a killer experience.
Yeah. Definitely ready to go again. If you ever get a chance to go surfing and you've never done it before, it doesn't matter, just go.
I'll tell you, man, one thing that I'm going to have to focus on next time, I think, and somebody tell me if I'm wrong here, but out of all the times I stood up, half the time I would immediately stop. Like, as soon as I would stand up, the board would just stall. And so I think what was happening there is I was too far back on the board, and I needed to be a little bit more forward to, allow that momentum to carry forward and actually ride the wave. I didn't pay attention to, the times that I actually got, to ride the wave, what I'd done differently. So it's going to be a learning experience, but I think that was probably my biggest problem I had out there. Man, that trawler got you when we were heading out.
Oh yeah.
We've got to talk about that for a second. So like we're rolling out there and I'm like, hey, I'm an idiot, but it's a green buoy and we're heading out and I don't think we're on the right side.
I was saying on this side because that's where that big boat is. Yeah, because that was the only thing I was thinking. I was like, that big boat somehow made it over there. I'm fine. That's the only thing about a big boat is.
Yeah, and it looked
wrong.
fine.
Yeah,
It looked
wrong. But like that's one of the reasons why, you know, you don't run your boat wide open in waters that you're unsure about on low tide. You know, so
It was a minor thing in the grand scheme of things. I'll tell you one thing that I thought about was your little bachelor trip thing. Like immediately after that, because I was at the helm and I had no clue what I was doing. I can't imagine what kind of idiotic stuff I did.
yeah, no, you weren't that bad because like where we on that trip where we got rented the boat at is north from where the waters that I'm like super familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? Because we kept working our way down, and I was like, oh, because I hadn't been out there in like years, and I was like, oh yeah, I know where we're at. This is the spot. This is the spot me and Dad used to catch flounder. And but no, that was super fun. Yeah, no problem with that. I mean, the same thing at your bachelor party when we were out on what's the name of that lake?
Oh gosh. Oh, what lake was that?
Oh, in the mountains and like the mountain cliff that goes.
Was that Lake
down
Lure?
to the Lure, yep, that was it. But I was like driving the boat, and then you were like, "Hey, can I drive?" And like, I'll be honest, I was scared to death. Oh, I was scared to death, and I was like, whatever. The worst thing I think that happened is die.
At least it's a cool story, kinda. Oh man. Yeah.
Gorgeous place to die, yeah.
Oh man. Side note, don't do what I did. Learn about boating before you get behind the helm, because it is super dangerous out there if you don't know what you're doing.
If you really want a small crash course in boating and you've never boated before in your life, stay away from tiller handles.
Which is all I have.
Yeah. And just get something that has a steering wheel.
Yeah. Steering wheels are nice. Once I have a reason to upgrade, I definitely will.
I'd say I'm thinking about downgrading.
That boat is too nice, though, man.
I want my tiller handle back, but
I'll trade you. I got you, bud. That smoker craft has got your name on it.
Oh. Well, see, the thing is, I still have the little 14-foot double wide. I just need a motor for it, but
yeah, I was eyeing that. I was looking at that in the video, like, ooh, that's a fun one. That just needs a fresh motor. That'll be a fun one to do. We should work on that. I'm gonna fix my John boat up, and when I say fix up, I mean make it look less like a turd. But it is still will be a absolute turd. But that might be a fun one to do. Definitely repowering yours with something fun would be a nice project to take on. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this, and I can't wait to run from my house out to that island. I'm thinking you and me will load up 2 John boats and just run the whole way out. And I don't know, can we camp out there? Let's camp out there.
Let's go camping. I've been wanting to go camping so bad I can't stand it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you running out there with me, man. I can't wait to do it again. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and we can't wait to see you again on the next one. See ya.
Hey everyone, really hope that you enjoyed the video. We're learning a lot about cinematography, video editing, YouTube, and, well, surfing. But the main thing is we kind of want to hear from you. This is a community, and we want you to join the conversation. Share with us some of your experiences or current interests. Whether it's woodworking, boating, cars, creating music, gardening, anything that you can kind of think of, and what are you interested in learning but you haven't even started yet. Now would be a great time. You're on YouTube, just go ahead and type it in the search bar and find a couple of videos and watch it, and then find time to go and start doing it. Let this be the time. No more excuses. Anyway, thanks again for spending some time with us, and we'll see you next time.